minutes to find us. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. I know it takes a few minutes. We've been chatting backstage. So exciting. Welcome to the post party. It is the post party today. We've been doing so many things. So I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit. I meant to come on live early and quite frankly forgot. So we don't have the puppy dog for this training because this is our post party of just getting on, letting people know that this is the end. I'm going to go through. We have some contest peeps that I'm going to announce. We have so many cool things happening today. Hang on. I just remembered something that I really needed to do, and I think it's done. I had to sit there for a second. Did I do that thing? Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm just going to write down something. Hang on. Yeah, so much going on in here. We've been doing all of these different trainings. There we see people rolling in. Hello, hello, hello. You're finding us slowly but surely. There is no link. It is here. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Alex. Nice to see all of you. So here we are. We're going to do our post party today. Again, you should see at the bottom of the post, StreamYard.com/Facebook if you want me to know who you are. But it's really happy to see all y'all coming on in, saying hello. It's very exciting. It's very, very exciting. So we're going to announce our contest winners today. But really, the reason that we're here, I'm very excited, is that we have some of our current screenreaders that are out there working for different companies, working for contests, working for producers, and they're all, creating their screenreader path as we go. And so we're going to get to meet some of them. And I always love this because it's a chance for me to get to know them every time. I get to know more about them every time. It's really fun. I already know them from being in our programs. So they've all been in the Insider Track membership. And so I've gotten to know them in there, and they've all joined at different times. Well done to everyone who completed the blueprint. Thank you, Evelyn. Thanks for reminding me. Really good. The blueprints are so cool. I don't know if any of you have seen them. Some of them are in the Facebook group, and then I did share a couple during the workshop. But yeah, your blueprints. And I absolutely love too the threads about the ChatGPT stuff that we did. Those threads have been really fascinating, seeing all the things that people are learning from, ChatGPT and realizing what you use and all of that. So it's really, really fun. And I'm really thankful that you guys are participating and being able to see all that. So congrats on that. And so the contest is now closed. You don't need to worry about that anymore. So basically how this all goes down, we're just going to party right now, celebrate how much fun we had in the boot camp. I hope you guys had a good experience all in all. I'm seeing some of the same names every day, a few names that I haven't seen along the way, which is super nice as well. But really been loving having you guys in here and figuring out this stuff along the way. So all of the trainings combined, just kind of as a recap, we started that first day with the pre-party. Feels like forever ago, but it was, we did a pre-party and we talked about why your love of movies matters during the pre-party. And that was really fun. And then we took a day to kind of get situated. And then we followed up on that, with the first training. And that first day training was basically the role of a reader. What is a reader? All the different, paths that it takes, what is all the details about being a reader. We talked in great detail about that. And then we moved, yeah, that's weird. Hi, Jody. I don't know. For some people, I don't know if it has to do with what browser you're on. I don't know for sure. Some people, it just doesn't. Yeah, write the comments. If you haven't been reading people's comments, really good, Tanya. If you haven't been reading the people's comments, it's really fantastic seeing what everybody's writing. So then we went the second day and we broke down a screenplay. How do you break down a screenplay? We walked through literally Save the Cat Beat Sheet. We walked through different structures. We walked through all the things having to do with screenplay. And then we dove into AI, and we talked about AI and ChatGPT. We also talked about the writer's strike and who they're actually striking against and what does it mean and kind of how that kind of fits together. AI, basically, it was a whole session about change, and there's so much change in this industry all the time. That's just the nature of the industry. So we walked through all the different changes the industry has been through, and then we talked more about what the changes might be moving forward and how can you figure out where you fit within those changes. And so whether or not you're wanting to do AI or whether or not you're wanting to double down on that human connection, you could go either way, right? And then we followed that up with your blueprint, and we walked you through the blueprint, and we walked you through exactly right, Tanya. It's never boring. It's always changing. But we walk through a blueprint. We walk through all the different kinds of jobs there are that you can get once you have this as a foundation. So you guys could see all of that. And so that was really interesting, seeing what people were drawn to. So you could start to decide what is it that you want to do? And then we wrapped it up with a workshop. And so we put everything together in the Breaking In workshop. And then we talked about, we kind of recapped each thing that we had been through. And then we also talked about our programs that we have. We have a lot of people. Let me know if you guys are here. I'm actually, keep an eye out. I'm going to do a post because I want to see in the Facebook group how many of you are already in our programs, because I think it's quite a few. And then now we're welcoming, during that time, you could join the program. Enrollment is currently open. If you want to dive in and become a screen reader, enrollment's currently open. So, and I'm just going to throw that real quick. So if you want to find out more information about joining the program, you can go to hollywoodgatekeepers.com/screenreader, and that will take you to a page where you can see kind of all the courses laid out in one place. It shows you all the information, and it shows, you'll see some of our guests today are on that page. You'll see some pictures of people you might recognize. See, I see people like, I'm in the self-paced program. I love it. Welcome. I'm so happy that you guys are here, and I recognize your names for sure. So we have the two versions. We have a self-paced version where you can, standalone course, you can start with that, go through the course. And then we have the plus version, which is basically a VIP version where we have weekly coaching. That's where we bring in guests, where I get to know you. I read your coverage. We have a membership that you join within that. So, keep an eye out, Lorraine. Right now, it's only going to be open for a little while. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure when we'll open it again. We open and close it based on kind of how enrollment is going. And we want to make sure that we have time to focus on the people that are in there. So that's why it's not just open all the time. So just keep an eye out if you don't join now. But it is open now today until Tuesday. So it'll be closing midnight on the 15th. And then we'll get started with all of our new people. So it's very exciting. So you can check out the details about it there. But today we're going to talk to our screen readers. I'm going to bring them on one at a time. We all happen to be lovely ladies so far. We have people kind of coming in and out. Everybody was really busy. So it's like, I'm not sure, a couple more might show up. We just reached out to a few. So I'm going to start with you, Miss Donna, and we'll bring you on here in a sec. And so I really want to, yay, I'm in the program. Yay, welcome. All right, let me get Donna in here. So this is Ms. Donna Paulo, and we were kind of laughing before we started because she's one of our more original members. Is how we're going to put it. So we have people that have recently graduated, and then we have people that have been around for a little while. And so she's more of an original member now because now it's getting to where
gee.
no, seasoned.
Seasoned. I like that. Yeah, exactly.
So welcome. Yeah, so thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it. So tell us about your experience in the program. Like what?
Well, I saw your ad on Instagram, and I was looking for something part-time because I have some back issues and something I could do from home. And so I thought, well, should I do it? I think, it's, on Instagram, but it was the best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did. Yeah. I loved it so much.
It's been really great to get to know you too, especially, and this guy, I've kind of gotten to know you even more after you've graduated because we've been coming back. We call this the Screenreader Squad. So anyone that graduates, this is just something we do for our graduates, where we do panels so that you guys can meet Donna, and you kind of see what she's about, and she can tell you her experience. And then that way too, if she wants to do coverage for someone, she can. So what was something you think that you learned or was unexpected, or something that you thought was a fear ahead of time that got solved, or anything like that? What can you tell us about that?
I really love the content, and you guys showed me how to, I've never read a script before. And it was just fascinating. It's like, oh, that's what that means. Right?
So good.
I think it was Wizard of Oz was the first one I read. Yeah. But mostly it was the camaraderie with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We were just this little clique, and it was like, movie night. Yay. What do you bring in? What are you eating? What kind of things are you bringing?
Post your snacks.
Yeah, post your snacks. And then being able to see your interview with Paul Haggis, and that was fantastic. And just everything. I just loved everything about it.
Yeah. And so when we bring in guests, you guys, just so you know, when we do bring in guests, like we do questions ahead of time. You give me the questions, and then I basically ask the questions that you guys submitted, and then often like they just start answering, looking in the chat themselves or whatever, and I think Paul did that and started just answering questions along the way. Bobby Moresco, who wrote Crash with Paul, he was actually like, okay, let's talk. And he got a couple people on camera with him and coached him. It was awesome.
Wow.
So these guests are so much fun. And yeah. Like it makes it really, really fun. Yeah. So tell us, what are you doing now? What are you up to?
Well, I've been, been about almost 7 years, right?
No.
But, yeah, 6 years. Yeah. I started with Austin Film Festival and then just kind of worked my way through the competitions. Mm-hmm. So right now I work for like 5 different film, screen competitions. Yeah, screenwriting competitions. And so I'm still with, the private one.
There's ones we can't talk about. So
the confidentiality one.
It's a really great one. So just so you guys know, in general, sometimes these panels are hard because readers often can't talk about where they read because they don't, especially with social media these days. We have to be really careful. Contests need to be really careful that no one ever looks biased. So if you are Facebook friends with Donna and she reads a contest and you win that contest, that could seem improper, even though it wouldn't be, because I know Donna. So because of social media, it's gotten even more clamped down on what you can and can't say. And the same is true with how much money they make, like what their hours are. We can do a very wide sweeping generalizations, but we have to be really careful, and we always want to make sure that we're not getting any panelists in trouble. So just really secrets. Yeah. So basically behind the scenes, so she can say, yeah. So, but it's really fast. The contest thing, we work with the Austin Film Festival quite a bit. A lot of our readers kind of get their feet wet there. Austin Film Festival is such a heart-centered, writer-centered contest that we really love working with them. And so that's really great one for sure.
Yeah, and then you can keep, whoever the person is that's, giving you your assignments. Like I kept in touch with Matt from Austin. He's now a literary agent. So I can go back and ask him, hey, what do you think I should do? Or do you have any advice? So you make your own. Yeah.
And that's I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's such a common and such a good thing to make that relationship, because it's so true that they move around. I mean, since we've been working with Austin Film Festival, I think we've been through 4 different script directors there, because they moved them. And Grace, the current one, is just crushing it. Like she came in, it was interesting because they all come in a little different way. She came in like, I'm going to make this the best reading program there is. She was just like gangbusters. But it's really interesting because I could easily see them promoting her to other things because she's such a visionary. So it is like people move around a lot in this industry. So make those connections with the people that you meet, because the literary agent is fantastic. That's a really great contact to have. Yeah. And that's so important. And so now also too, when he's out there and, meeting producers and someone might need a reader, he might think of you because you have that relationship with them, which is really, really smart. No, Diane, you do not need to go to Austin to read. It's all online. Yeah, very rarely everything's all online for everyone. Right. Like you can go. And the cool thing about Austin, one of the things they do, they don't pay on one level. They have levels where they do pay, but you can get a free badge to the festival if you read a certain amount of screenplays. But not only that, it's a producer's badge. So when you get to the festival, you've got a producer's badge, which is fantastic, because then you're allowed to go to all the parties and events with the producers that are there. So you're able to meet producers, and who uses readers? Producers. So it's just a really great way to kind of network or whatever. So you can go. I recommend you go. And that, I think when you were reading, Donna, was when the group went together. Was that when you were with us?
I think just Mushy went.
Oh, so that was even So you're one of the original.
I told you. Gee.
So good. Yeah. So a little bit after you, there was a group of screenreaders that didn't know each other, and they decided to go to the film festival together. A couple of them had producers badge, some of them didn't, but they got an Airbnb and they all piled in. And was Sean in the program when you were in the program at all? Sean Riley. She
I
was
think so.
creating
Yes.
a movie. Yeah. So she's a filmmaker. She's a
Oh, great.
And so she was doing a film, and so they shot a trailer for her movie, and she was like, "You guys want to help me?" So we had this group of screenreaders that were from all over the place. Like they converged in, and they got Airbnb, and they ended up shooting her trailer together and going to the festival. So that's the kind of fun, friendships that have happened and things that have gone on. And so I highly recommend you guys get to know each other in the program. Those of you that were like, "I'm in," yeah, you definitely want to get to know each other. Sure.
We all helped each other, and I don't get this, and what does this mean?
Yeah, and Alan, who was the first person to enter our program, the very first person to join us, and then he was already reading for the Austin Film Festival, so he started recommending people, and then that's just become a thing. And now you just have to say you're with all the gatekeepers, and they know who we are now. But at the time, they hadn't heard of us yet. So Alan was really, really, he was like instrumental in starting that relationship, which was really fun. Yeah. The random connections and outcomes are so great, Diane, for sure. And so this is what happens. That was the happy accident that Doug and I sort of still laugh about, of like, we thought this was going to be fun, but we didn't really anticipate, like you. I didn't anticipate like meeting Donna, and you'll see Lenore and Jessica, and meeting these people and being like, oh, this is so cool that we're making all these connections and friendships and things that are going down. This is really exciting. Really exciting.
Yeah.
So are you doing coverages? Would you do coverages for writers as well? Or are you
sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So let me put up, I think we have, we do. So here's Donna's email. If any of you have a screenplay you need covered, you can go ahead and just reach out to her. I can vouch for her. I've seen her coverages. I've seen her work, and she's just lovely and also wicked smart. She's done some really smart, really, really smart ways of finding work, networking ideas, and looking to where all the jobs might be, like where would all the writers go, and then going there and finding work from that. It's really smart. Like, I've been really proud of you, how you've like just put it all together.
Thank you so much. That's so nice.
It's really good. And you're based in Arizona, right? Like Phoenix?
Right.
Yes. Just making sure I had that right. So not that matters, because it's all online. It's fun to know,
be anywhere
you're in, for sure. Thank you so much for doing this. It's just always
to
have you.
Thank you for having me.
And,
it's great to see you.
Totally. And I'm going to put you backstage, and I'm going to bring out someone else. Feel free to stick around, or feel free to. If you have
all right. Thanks. Good luck, everybody.
So now I'm going to bring on Lenore. She's probably one of our more recent graduates. Hey, Lenore. How are you?
Hi there. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, everyone.
Yay. So say hello, hello, hello. Let me look at the comments here. So do tell.
Oh.
So tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Well, I'm from Canada, first of all. So I should say that, because that was one of my doubts or fears, that seeing the program and really being excited about it when I first found it on, I think, Instagram, I was a little worried about, well, can Canadians really get on with the festival in the States? But it's been terrific. It wasn't even hard. And one of the things that assured me was, once in the course, the amount of accessibility and seeing the live sessions and having the guests from, say, AFF come on and say, yeah, we are international. We have people from England, all over the place. So
yay for fellow Canadians. And then it worked. I mean, I was in Canada for a little while doing this whole thing from there for about a little over a year and a half, like 18 months or so. I was doing it from there, and I really want to go back at some point. Where are you in Canada?
I'm on Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay.
So BC.
Yeah. So that's where I went for Christmas. Not this last Christmas. Christmas before that, we went to Vancouver. Yeah. So beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, we're so lucky. But and I finished the course within a few months' time. I was just really inspired. And by the fall, when I was ready to apply for AFF and many others I tried, the festival there was over for reading. So it gave me an opportunity, actually, to go and volunteer and see if I could get some other jobs before getting on at AFF. And I got on right away with Wild Sound TV. They saw my coverages from my graduation, and they said, hey, could you do some video feedbacks for us for short films? Well, I was so excited, because that's just the sort of thing I wanted to try.
Yeah.
So that and some volunteer work with Big Apple Film Festival in New York. They got my email the same day. They got back saying, hey, could you help with a few weeks at the tail end of our festival if you want to volunteer and do some reading there. It was terrific. And then by the time that was all over, I was hearing from AFF to try for year-round coverage, which I'm super happy with. It's paid, and it's been terrific because you have the choice of whether you want to work full-time or not. Yeah. So anywhere from 2 scripts or more a week if you want. They're very, very flexible. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. So Daniel, video feedback is very similar where but instead of reading the screenplay, you're watching it. So you watch, contests often have programmers. Well, programmers are a little bit different. So they have video feedback, or they have people that just watch the films and give feedback on it. And then we have Will, who's one of our screen readers, he's starting a contest for the Glendale International Film Festival. So he's been using his peers for that. But he's a playwright, and he's also a stage director. And so he always gets asked to read all the plays wherever he goes. So there's always kind of different things. And then there's film festival programmers, and that is where you are actually going and looking for films that are going to be in the festival. So you can be like getting the submissions of people where people they submit their movie to be considered. So you're watching shorts or you're watching features, and you're helping them select the films that are actually going to show at the festival. But then you'll also, sometimes there's a level of that where they'll send you out to other festivals and other places where you can literally go to other festivals, watch the films there to see if there's any of those films that you want to talk to the creators to see if they want that film to go to that festival as well. It's a whole world. It's such a big world. Yeah. And then Sean, who I just mentioned earlier, she's a filmmaker, one of our screeners who's graduated, and she's just a master she creates features and shorts, and then she just submits them everywhere, and she's crushing it on the film festival circuit with all the films that she's created. And so her level of writing and stuff has really helped, and being a screenreader has really helped with that as well, for sure. Yeah, big fan of flexible. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I love the Canadian thing. I hadn't really thought about that. And then, I mean, you are someone who, and I talk about this all the time too. It's like each person reminds me of things to tell everyone, because you all do things a little bit differently. And I learned from you as well. And the one thing about Lenore, when she came in, if you want to be successful and you want to meet people and you want to move forward, be that star student. And that was Lenore. She came in and we were like, holy smokes, who's Lenore? Because we can see you guys behind the scenes. We can see when people are going through things. And you went through the archives. She was binge watching all of the videos of the session.
Yes. Oh, and I learned a lot from that, because those early grads that got out there and got these jobs that I thought, I want to do that too. I wanted to hear exactly how they did it.
Yeah.
Boy, did that work.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of months. And I had little goals if I could just get something, it'll pay enough to pay off the course. Say that's a great goal. And so that came and went. And now it's doing summer competition reading and potentially maybe something new at stage 32. So I'm just really excited, because you're making these connections all along, but
trying our best.
Having these relationships, I mean, it doesn't take very long to have somebody that you've applied to for a festival. If they're unaware of you or Doug, it's a matter of seconds. They're Googling it. They're seeing all the success and the history behind it. And that's a big plus, because your names go a long way. So that doesn't get past.
Yeah, and I talk about you guys. When we were talking to the Boston Film Festival, I was like, oh, I think Lenore. And she goes, oh yeah, Lenore. Immediately she knew who you were. I was like, you went to the Austin Film Festival, did the same exact thing. She's like, oh, I know who that is. Right out the gate. Wow. So I mean, and that makes a difference when you show up so present. You're so present. When you show up, you show up.
Yeah.
And really makes it, I think it really makes a difference. And same as what we talked about with Donna, where she now knows, the person that was her person giving her scripts at AFF is somewhere else now, but that relationship can stay the same. I mean, my story editor, when I read for James Cameron, went on to be a producer at Marvel. And then he went on to produce, the thing I loved about him was he was a super big comic book fan, which makes sense for Marvel. But this was even before that. But he had a ton of action figures all over his office. And so I would bring my son in, and he was a child at the time, and we'd play in his office while we talked about whatever screenplays. They were very hands-on and wanted to talk in person. But then he went on, now he's at another huge company. And so I'm definitely, he's at an animation company now, and I'm producing an animated film, I'm going to be reached out to. So it is like these relationships matter, and you're just such a great example of how to pave the way.
Thank you. Boy, I really couldn't be happier. I wish this had come to me, or I'd found it, or it had been in existence like 10 years ago. I can hear, like in some of the commentary, there's maybe moms who are at home, or people that can't work outside the home and want to do something from their kitchen desk, or just want to be able to be in the industry somehow and have something exciting to do. And it's all of those. So,
and it's just, the more you show up, the more opportunity comes, and the more you can just work together with people and just like
collaborate and
curious. Curious. So while you guys are doing your thing, we're out there. I'm trying to make as many potential connections as I can, and I'm just like from the rooftops working and trying to figure out ways to get more work for you guys and figure it out. So you're one of the ones I'm like, you gotta get for sure. So thank you so much. So much fun. So Equinor's asking, are you saying it would be helpful to attend film festivals while completing the course? It's always helpful to attend film festivals if you can. And especially if you have one in your area, definitely go and tell people you're a reader while you're there. Like, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Alex. It's so true, right? It's exactly the community to join. It's wonderful to know all that networking from previous onset and post-production have a chance to thrive. Yeah, right? So good, Alex, for sure. Yeah. So is there anything else to I know we talked ahead of time, and I was like, so are you guys taking clients or what's going on? And she was like,
It's if you're close to graduating, gosh, I wouldn't rush through the course, but get it done as soon as you can and start applying, because there's work, and I can't even take on as much as there's offers to take on. And AFF has hundreds of readers, and there's other organizations that are hiring too. So get out there and get those samples, your coverage samples solid, and that's going to carry you, I'd say. So,
And it's really
a priority.
Yeah, for sure. It's been really nice because your coverage samples are so, are good. You've been through the course, and we're really diligent about making sure your coverage samples are good for people that are in the insider track. And if you're in the standalone, you can compare and see. But that way in the insider track, I can actually say to someone, I've read their coverage, and they immediately are just like, okay, they're just like, they so badly want good readers that they can trust that know how to do coverage. So I think it's
and I'll show you. I have my binder that's always with me, and for the first few months, I'm going through those notes. They're invaluable. It's just
that's so great,
so thorough, and you learn more than you will probably have to apply, especially in those early months. But it's all you need. And there's other courses out there that teach coverage writing, but it's nothing like this program, and you don't have the accessible one-on-one. And they're not staff that are ready with to answer your emails on a daily basis. This is the one.
Thank you so much. We're really, really sincere about that human connection. We talked about this in the AI training, where I'm gonna dive in more into AI and help people with that. But it's like the idea of using AI in a great way, but meanwhile, double down on the human connection, because as we get more AI, that the value of human connection is going to skyrocket. So at a time where people were saying to me, you should not be looking at homework, your team shouldn't be looking, you're spending time, it's like, no, absolutely we should be looking at homework, so that people feel like there's a human connection. And that's, I really appreciate. And Cherie, who's in the chat right now, is always, she's like, everybody's always like, oh, Cherie, because she's like, so on it, right? And so having that human connection and someone that's there to support you, I think, is so important. And so
it's excellent, right? Awesome. One of the big things, coming out for the coverage was, can you address concept, and can you discuss the script's conflict within the main character and the plot? These are the things, and it's all there. You can get all of this, and addressing that. Not all these courses are going that far. So this year's, this is,
we're trying.
So
Okay. And I see Joy's joined us as well. She's in the chat, our director of marketing, and Joy and Sharif started as students. And we have Ashley, and we have some interns that are here. And so our interns also, they start as students, and then that's where we find our staff, because we really want to create people that get it. It's so important. So thank you so much, Lenore.
Excellent. Thanks, Carolyn. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, so great. So much fun. Okay, so now I'm going to bring on Jessica. And the conversation has been so perfect leading up to you, Jessica.
Hello?
Hello. Oh, do tell. So I just want to say really quick before Jessica says anything, is that Jessica has been behind the scenes. Jessica's one of the ones, she was so, again, that star student thing, but she asked such wicked smart questions, and she continues to come to the Insider Track and stay involved. But also, she's someone that I can get, hey, I'm going to try this thing. You okay if I use you? And she's like, sure. So she's been kind of helping me be kind of boots on the ground, and then we go back and forth a little bit about what she's seeing out there. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jessica.
Well, I've been in the Screenreader program probably for about 3 years. I was writing my own screenplay and trying to learn screenwriting back when the pandemic hit, and there was little else that we were able to do other than sit in front of our computers and do things at home. And in that process, I found the program, and I think it was probably on Instagram, just like most people found it. I like to say the internet found out that I was writing a screenplay, and then algorithmed me right to your door, basically. And at that time, the course was it has undergone a lot of changes since then. But yeah, it's been. I didn't know what reading was. I didn't know what story analyst work was, and I thought it sounded interesting. So here I am, still.
Yeah, for sure. And it has gone through a lot of changes, and in part because, like I mentioned earlier, we can see behind the scenes, we can see the progress that people make. And so we noticed, after it took a while, people going through the course, we noticed that people were starting to skid out kind of in the same place. And so we realized we needed to streamline it a bit. So for those of you that have been here for a while, you all have access to everything now, but we have a 2.0 version now where we streamlined it. We made the videos shorter. We made it easier to get through. And so we're constantly watching, and people like Jessica who email us and say, hey, I have this, especially after you graduated and you started saying, hey, I'm running up against this, I'm running up against that. And so it became a really great thing to just have you, talk to you basically and see how we can help you maneuver through things and kind of learn together. So oh good, I'm glad the new version is working for you. I don't know who that is, sorry, I can only see Facebook user on that one. So what were your surprises when you joined, or what fears did you have that were alleviated or whatever?
I think what initially probably intimidated me a little bit was learning that you read scripts primarily. I think the first thing that came up was that you would normally read scripts for producers or somebody in the music industry, the entertainment industry. So I was super intimidated by that. Thought it was like going to be some scary Hollywood bigwig who's going to, chew you up and spit you out or anything. But it's not like that at all. And
it's just people.
And that's primarily who I like to read for, mainly because I think I'm attracted to being super close to the action and the movie.
Yeah.
I guess the development process and before the movie gets greenlit.
Yeah, totally. Well, and you've been, focused on producers from the very beginning. And a lot of people have gone through the course, and we've actually had people that have started consulting businesses together, met in the course, and then started businesses together and done that. Some people are starting contests. Some people are building contests. We have several people building contests for film festivals, which that's turned into a little side thing that we have enough people doing it that I'm like, this is actually a thing. So and so we're always just looking for opportunity for sure as you move forward with that. And I think I'm just so proud of you that you're just like a dog with a bone with it too, and just like sticking to it, continuing to grow, continuing to learn. And you've definitely become an expert at coverage for sure. Like definitely you were someone that I would recommend as an expert.
Well, thank you.
Whatever. Yeah, for sure. So yes, you can ask questions. I saw someone ask if you can ask questions. So how often are readers called on by a producer to discuss a screenplay that they might cover? Let me wait on that question. I'm going to bring everybody back because everybody's still here. So thank you so much, Jessica. It's always such a pleasure to have you come on. Jessica's also an actor as well, which brings, I think, a lot of insight into, what she's doing, and she's on set a lot too, which I think is really interesting.
It was reading work helps fill in the gaps while we're on strike.
Yeah, right. So I don't know if you've done this on set, but I had a really interesting experience while I was on set. My first day, I was being a writer on the set, and I was talking to someone, like, I think it was a PA maybe, and they asked, kind of about, we're just chatting, whatever. So I told them about Hollywood Gatekeepers. It spread through the crew like wildfire. It was like so many people by the end of the day was like, I heard you're a reader. I heard you have a thing about reading. I heard you. It was like, whoa. I kind of, I mean, that's not all that unusual, but it was like, wow. I mean, they actually like threw it. And I had several crew members by the end that were interested in joining the course, learning about reading and all that. Have you found that when you're on set? Do you talk to people about it at all?
I usually start out with, well, they'll say, what do you do, other than this? And I'll say, well, I read screenplays and break them down for producers. And one person said, are you a reader? Yes. You know what it is. Good. Because I didn't originally. Someone else said, so you've read Save the Cat? Yeah.
That's well, that's a way to bond for sure. It's really interesting. Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. And then June, who's one of the actors, she's actually in Inside Track now. So she came and joined the program. It was really fun. Yeah. So let me bring the other ladies back here. And then we had one of our graduates pop in and she left. I'm not sure. Oh, she's here. Hang on, wait 1 second here. Let me Maisha, I see that you're there. Do you have there she is. Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna nothing like live theater here. I'm gonna bring Maisha on real quick. So I'm gonna put you guys backstage again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring it's not letting me. Hold on. Oops. Hang on. What's happening here? Lenore, did I just oh no, okay. Let me know. For some reason, it's not showing. Okay, let me just try this. Remove from stream. Okay, and then I'm going to bring Maisha. I'm going to bring you on here. Hi, my friend. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I'm calling you on the fly as well. I thought you'd appreciate it, Caroline, but my apologies for all the cacophony, the noise behind me.
Oh, it's no worries at all. It's so lovely to see you. So lovely to see you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you join the program? What did you think of it? Like what was surprising about it for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I joined the program in 2021. And I completed it top of this year, right? It was top of this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I recalled it frustrated me because it took me some time to get through it. It was painful.
Because you're so prolific. You're so detailed. Like she's one of the most detailed readers we've had.
Oh my God, it's painful. It's like and maybe I need to hit you up more for some tips on that. So, but it's a challenge for me. And so, but I also appreciated that because it leads into, I think, part of the next question, because I know we also want to be cognizant of time. So everyone has questions. What surprised me about the program is that, I was eager to get into this field within entertainment. I'm a producer and a publicist, producer in the daytime TV and news space, but I wanted to really get into the scripted space. And even though it's in the same wheelhouse,
it's different, very different
for me to make that crossover. And so I was surprised by a number of things. I was surprised that I've been in the industry so long and I'd never heard of a reader before. And then when I listened to everything Caroline, I was like, so that's me. She's talking about me. Does she know me? This is crazy. This is what I do. This is who I am all day. Why did I know about this? And then I also thought, candidly, like so many others who probably come across it, I was like, Hollywood Gate, is it scammy? Is it
yes, for sure.
But she looks trusting. I trust her voice, her disposition. I said, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with spirit. And
So
I'm glad I did. And I remember saying to a friend of mine, I said, I spent a pretty penny on this class and it has been worth it. And then some. I did not expect the volume of information. I didn't expect the thoroughness in the curriculum. I also didn't expect that humanistic touch that everyone spoke about, where it comes to you opening your Black book, right? Your network, and that having that vulnerability with us to expose us to these people in the industry who are leaders, and movers and shakers, and trust you. So I thought all of that was it was a refreshing surprise, I should say, about the program for sure. And then on an intellectual level, now that I'm doing work, I realized like, oh my God, like I learned stuff. Like I know
I have knowledge. So good.
So,
well, and you were brave and did a live coverage review too. And so I so love it when students do that, because it helps me get to know you, for one thing. And your level of experience and everything that you're adding to it was so fantastic that it was like, there's so much you can do with the experience that you have. And that was really fun to get to know you and get to know your coverage and be able to speak to you, and, speak of you and to you and know your world. So it was just such a pleasure to have you in our world, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I feel good. Same here.
Awesome.
Working on with AF, quick update. So that's been going great.
Nice.
Very much like an extension of Hollywood Gatekeepers, the family, I should say, and some other projects as well. So I recommend this. See it through. It's going to get hairy at a certain point, and just with best intention, promise you, might get a little hairy, but it'll be worth it. Persevere.
Yeah, we've actually, Donna's backstage right now, and she'll recognize this. As we used to say, we're going to have a t-shirt that said I survived P2A2, which was phase 2, act 2, which is now the coverage, known as the coverage section, because I survived the coverage section, because we put you to task in that we want to make sure your coverage is good. It's your calling card for the rest of your life. So it's like we're like, no, you got to do the work. So yeah, for sure, it's like, it's fun, but it's also like we got stuff to do, things to get it done. Yeah.
I've gotten clients off of Stage 32
nice.
From coverages from Hollywood Gatekeepers.
Nice. That's awesome.
Great.
So
very
good. Well, I know you're out and about. Thank you so much for making the time to hop on. I know you got a lot going on. I really, really appreciate it. It's really lovely to have you here.
Of course. I got flown into Brooklyn for a shoot. I'm living in Mexico, connected with someone trying to look for reader work, but then it turned into something else. Flown into Brooklyn, back home. For a shoot, I got delayed in customs. Otherwise, I would have been on soon. That's the bad.
And you're still here. That is amazing. I feel so honored. Thank you so much for doing that.
What you all provided me, your commitment to the work you do. So I have to meet that in kind.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Like choking me up. So great. Thank you so much, Maisha. So great. Yeah, right back at you. All right, my friend. So if you need to go, that's fine. I'm going to put you backstage, and you can either pop off if you want, and I'm going to bring everybody else on if anyone has questions.
But I'm happy to anyone email me. I'll answer anything, but I need to eat. I haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Good luck to you all, and you're in good hands.
You're so beautiful. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Ciao.
Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. All right. So now we're going to bring the ladies back in here. Thank you, ladies, for being patient with that. Like, it's so nice to have Maisha pop in like that. I wasn't sure she was going to make it. Yeah, so much fun to see all y'all. So Joy's like, I love this because she's seeing everybody again. It's so much fun, right?
Hi, Joy.
Yeah. Well, so we're back. So now we can answer some questions if we have. If you I'll answer first, and then if anybody wants to chime in, feel free. So Diane's asking, do you as a reader determine your fee, or does the client tell you what they'll pay? Both. It's a little of both. You can we help you in the course to figure out your fee schedule, and you can create your own. So a couple weeks ago we had Nicholas, who was just graduating, and we had oh my goodness, that was just last week. Wow. And so Hollywood Resumes came in, and we looked at his resume, but the week before that we looked at his website, and he had his pay scale on there that he had decided what it was going to be. Sometimes you come to a place and they're like, this is what we pay, and then you can determine if that's worth it. So let me know, ladies, if you have anything you want to chime in on that, on anything.
Yeah, it's both. Especially contests and established coverage services. With a couple of times with one time with individual producers, they've asked me what my rate was. Mm-hmm. And if I ever felt that, because personally for me, it takes me a while to read a script and write coverage. If I felt it wasn't worthwhile, I would just move on. Yeah. So,
And
and
that's
I've just
the
kind
part.
of determined my own rates if I'm in a position to name them.
Right. And so it's based on a lot of different things. It's based on your experience level of other things that you have going on. It's based on how quickly do they expect you to turn it around. That's a big part of it. You charge a lot more if they want a quicker turnaround. And so that can be part of it. It's based on, what you want. You decide, you can look at what you need for your life and decide what your pay scale is. And then you just keep looking for the person that, you find the right match for you, for sure. How quickly do readers normally need to turn their script coverage in? Is it normally the end of the week, etc.? Again, same kind of thing with so many things about this job, or the path that you decide to make it. So inside of the course, we have timers, we have all these things where you can figure out how long it takes you to do something. So then you can do the math. And like Jessica was talking about, she did the math and was like, okay, this is where it's worth it for me. I have to make this much or above, or I'm not reading for that person. And I love that. That's exactly what you want to do. So you decide, like in the same regard, I can read 5 scripts a week. I can read 2 scripts and have them to you on Thursdays or whatever. Yeah. Some places again will be, this is what our schedule is. This is what we want you to do. But even in the contest, I think most of them have levels of, this is what we generally expect.
And they'll give you a deadline of when they want them in, how many you can read. And
and they've all worked with you, right, in terms of what that is. And
Mm-hmm.
So just like pay, it can be either or. Again, the same producer. How quickly can you turn this around? And I said 3 to 4 days, and I did. So, and sometimes I might try to beat that, or not.
But it's very much the way you make it the world that you want. Do most people have literary backgrounds or no? It's all over the place. You guys have a literary background? Well, I have a pretty strong read. I love to read.
I've always loved to read.
So I think in that regard I did, but not an educational one. Anybody have a degree?
I think all educational backgrounds would be useful, suitable.
Right.
But no one asks about that. I have a degree in drama with an emphasis in acting, and no one has ever asked me. I don't think they've ever even asked me if I have a degree, let alone what it's in. So
experience.
You do it. Can you do the coverage?
What you can do.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about what you can do. Absolutely. As a beginner, what professional association should we join, if any? Stage 32 is a good one to join for sure. Anyone other? You guys are members of anything else that you can think of? I'm trying to think. I mean, really, it's social media to me. Being aware, follow the people that you're interested in. Social media. It's more about that than it is. That's kind of an older school way of doing it, is the join the association thing. The Stage 32 is a great organization to get involved in because they have a lot of free stuff. And then they also have paid things, kind of a la carte style. You can pick and choose. And then they have a writer's room if you write screenplays, and they have a lot going on in there. And we're teaming up with them to do more reader stuff in there. I'm going to be the guest over there. They're going to be a guest for me. We're partnering up a bit. So I highly recommend them. I also highly recommend Clubhouse. Even though Clubhouse is not the hot ticket that it once was, there are a lot of producers over there. And so being able to, because the thing about Clubhouse is they have conversations and you can step into the conversation and talk to people. So it's more, I think, about finding the people you want to follow or work with, and finding them on social media and starting to follow them and create a relationship. Do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
I was just going to say or add that if you're going to apply to AFF, peruse their site and figure out all the different kind of coverage and competitions there are, because I'm reading stage plays and pilots and all kinds of fun scripts that I didn't even imagine I would be doing, but know what those requirements are and what the rules are, so that when you hopefully get your position there, you can offer to do those, because that's what they'll ask you. Hey, are you interested in a comedy pilot? And I just said yes. I hoped I was, but I hadn't done one before. But it was just great. So get to know the people that you're looking into.
We're so fortunate now because information is so easy to find now. So definitely before you apply anywhere, you want to check out everything you can find about them, before you apply somewhere, so that you're not, if they start talking about their arm of this or that and you don't know what that is, you haven't done your research. You want to know what they're talking, and they're, like she's saying, there's opportunities. You might be at any company where you're working for. Many companies companies have more than one producer, you might get hired by one producer, but there's 10 others on their slate of this company. So, and that producer is worked on their own thing. They're not thinking about whether or not one of the other producers might need you, but you can reach out to one of the others and say, I'm already reading for this person that's in your same company. Like sometimes they have their own individual deals. Like just be aware. That's why when we did the homework and we had you look at your favorite film and then you looked at all the other people that have worked on that film, so you could see like how many people per movie there are, and so how many producers there are especially, and that can really like open you up. Yeah, for sure. Is it bad if we want to specialize in a genre? Do you guys specialize in genres, or do you eliminate any genres when you
Science fiction?
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah,
It's like on the yeah, so you can, so
That's
it does
right.
not matter whatsoever. You can
There's
pick
some that I avoid, you know,
Yeah.
if at all possible. But sometimes I just get things sent to me, and I'm like, and you know, and I end up doing fine.
Yeah, and you can, you know, when you get hired somewhere, you can say like, I'm not your best person that's on it, because they really do want you to do a good job, and so they want you to, you know, they want you to answer questions about a screenplay that you're going to hopefully like, and they really want that. So if you hate a genre, they don't want to give you that genre. So now sometimes it happens by accident, or, you know, and you can then, like Jessica said, decide like, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. But if you really feel like it would be a disservice to that screenplay to have you be the reader, then you want to be honest about that for sure. So, and if you're reading horror, you can go look for horror film production companies, you know, and just start there for sure. Are you guys on IMDb Pro? That's a good question.
Yes.
For a while. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think IMDb Pro is awesome. Do you normally read a screenplay in one sitting? It's an interesting question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah.
unless I'm overtired. And
Yeah.
I try.
Honestly.
And, you know,
Yeah, if I have a lot, like even if I have a lot, I stick with the one. So, okay, so here's a question. I'm curious. So when you guys have a bunch of screenplays to read, how do you pick the one you're going to read first, typically?
I just get the order they give them to me. That's what I do it.
yeah,
Based on the deadline, possibly.
Yeah, deadline will be
Right.
Yeah.
that's for sure.
right.
Yeah.
And
There are times, I'm not going to lie. So this is, you know, I went through phases where I was reading 25, 30 scripts a week. Like there were times where I was really swamped. And so when that was the case, I honestly, full disclosure, would scroll through it. Or if I, you know, sometimes at that point I was still getting them, you know, in my hand. I would scroll through it though. And if I could see just by the formatting whether or not it was someone that was
Yes.
well versed, right? I mean, you know when you get someone who's brand new based on just, you could scroll through it and see. And so I would read those first because they were much faster to read because I already knew what the problems were going to be. So I could get through those much quicker so that I could then spend the time that I would take on the ones that are, you know, ready to go. So because I knew the notes I was going to give to the newbies that still just didn't know what they didn't know, as opposed to the ones that,
Yeah.
So really interesting question. It's curious to see. Deadline definitely makes a difference though, for sure. Let's see. Can you apply to a pitch fest as a reader? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean to take pitches or give pitches, Alex? Let me know what you mean by that. So AFF, so did Lenore say AFF has full-time positions? They have a lot of different things. I don't know if it's
well, what it is you decide on how much you want to take on. So like I consider right now for me 3 scripts per day. That would be full time. I'd need that to do the full coverage. So the year-round coverage that's full, and they get 4 to 5 pages per script of coverage. That I would consider full-time pay for me. If it's between 100 and 200 a day, that to me is full time, and that's right around that area. So they don't come up with part-time positions or full. It's the kind of volume that you're turning out. Yeah,
that makes sense. Totally.
If you're somebody who's wanting to quit what you're doing and go full on into it, you can.
Yeah.
And if at the time you're getting scripts that would make up for a part-time job, you can find work somewhere else and combine that if you needed to. So
I always joke, like, get a job as a parking lot attendant. So you're sitting there, you read scripts.
Yeah.
Here's your ticket, read. Here's your ticket. It's just a thought. Has anyone read for distributors besides me? Have you guys read for distributors at all?
I have not.
Yeah. Reading for distributors is a really interesting gig. It takes a while usually. And we talk about the hockey stick thing, is where once you start reading, you're pounding the pavement, you're figuring out what genres you like, you're figuring out your deal, and then you start reading, and then pretty soon people start recommending you. And when that happens, everything kind of hockey sticks, and then that's usually where the distributors come in. Because they're a lot of referral for distributors, because they're basically, there's many different ways that distributors are looking at scripts. Sometimes they're looking at scripts because they want production credit, and so they're willing to give money. But a lot of the times the script is already in production, so it's already being filmed, and they just either ran out of money or they need more money. And so, but they don't have enough of a film yet to actually show it to get distribution that way. So they send the script off, and that is the most common way. And so you're getting a script, like James Cameron did that with Titanic. He sent it off for coverage because he needed more money. So you're getting scripts of things that are definitely being made. People are already cast. You're kind of seeing it in the middle of production. So it's a really fun reading gig. And you're saying, is this worth giving more money to? Like, should we be a producer on this and get it out there? That's kind of the main way that I read for distribution companies. And so it was always really a little more dicey in that I would often read a screenplay. This would happen, well, not often, but it happened enough that I can tell the story of. I would read a screenplay for a production company, a big studio, and then a few months later, well, more than that, a little longer than that, I'd read, suddenly someone else is giving me that screenplay because they're looking for more money, but I already know like what's going on with that because I was over here, but I can't say that to the new person. You definitely do not talk that way. And that happened with me with an agent who gave me a screenplay and it had a really unusual title. And I saw the title and he immediately was like, I knew that it was a thing that was being shot out in the ocean. And I knew they were literally in the ocean that day. And I was like, I kind of looked at it like, why is he getting an agent getting a script? I still don't know why. I don't know. I think probably knowing this agent is that he was behind and that they had probably sent it to him a long time ago. That's my guess. But it could have been maybe they were replacing an actor or something. I still don't quite know what the deal was. But he saw my face because a title was so unusual. I didn't think there was any way it could just be a coincidence. He saw my face and was like, "You know this project?" And I was like, I like wouldn't say. And he was like, "Well, where do you know from?" I was like, nothing. I was like, I can't. And he said, "Well, will you cover it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll cover it." And I covered it just like I normally would. And then he came back and he was like, so, still tried to grill me on it. And I would not budge. I was like, "No, I'm not telling you anything that I know. Here's the coverage on this particular version of this particular screenplay." And then I got way more work from him after that because he realized that I didn't run back to the company and go, "Hey, this agent has the script." I didn't do that. It's like, not my job, not my business. I'm here to read the screenplay and that's all I do. And so that can happen with distribution companies. You have to be really tight because they're involved in things that are in project. So anyway, that's what it's like working for distribution. Let's see. What format do you guys read on? Scripts? Computer? Do you print things out? What do you do?
Computer. Laptop.
Yeah, I don't print anything out.
I'm half and half because I like a specific room that has a lot of natural daylight, so it just makes it a little easier. But yeah, I'm happy if they're really long, I won't print it out.
Yeah. I do an iPad quite a bit for it because it's just easier, more portable.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you're unfamiliar, Alex, with Pitch Fest versus Film Festival as an attendee. So writers apply to Pitch Fest to pitch, but can readers attend to network? So you can. So a Pitch Fest is basically where a writer, so it's like speed dating. And you have like all these people that are looking for screenplays. Sometimes it's producers, mostly it's development executives, story editors, sometimes agents, and they'll be behind the table. And on some places you can do it in person. They have them virtually now. So you literally have a timer. So Stage 32 does practice pitch sessions, which is really fun. So they time you, what was it, Jessica? Is it 5 minutes? 3 minutes?
I think so.
And so you get 5 minutes for the writer to say, this is what my movie is. And then that's the person says, "Oh, can you send me the script or not?" Basically. So that's a pitch fest. You're saying this is what it is. Now, as a reader, I would go to Pitch Fest because I read for so many different companies. I was looking for ways to help writers. So I would go to Pitch Fest to take pitches so I could see if there was anything for anyone. And it was always really funny because the first day I would go to these pitch fests that were a couple of days long. And the first day I wouldn't have very many people. But by the second day, I'd have a huge list of people wanting to pitch to me, because the first day they didn't understand what a reader was and why it mattered that they should pitch to me. But then as I explained to people throughout the day, they would go tell other people. And then by the end, it would be like a ton of people, because they realized, oh, I'm an open slate, because it was like, it didn't matter what genre or anything. I had so many different people to pitch to. And that was really fun. And I learned a lot. Definitely. I think you can attend Pitch Fest. I don't know if you can attend Pitch Fest as a attendee, as an audience. I don't know on that virtual thing if that's a thing. You can definitely do it in Stage 32, where you go into the writer's room and they do a pitch fest and you can watch how it goes down.
EFF has a pitch contest also.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And there's lots of pitch contests out there. It's really interesting way to go. How often are you called on by a producer to discuss a screenplay that you've covered to provide additional insight? Not very often. You guys experience that? People call you after you've done a coverage to add more?
I've sometimes have gotten a follow-up email just asking, like something real simple, like, maybe because I wasn't terribly clear about something and they just wanted to clear it up. Like, would you, do you think this is worth me taking a look at? Because you seem like you were on the fence. So that's one instance
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Sense. Yeah, I've had that.
So I thought, okay, that's a good moment to think about whether I'm getting my point across in my coverage as much as I need to.
Yeah, and anytime a producer calls you, it's always such great, it's so nice when a producer calls you to get some feedback, because a lot of times you're flying blind a bit. You're not getting a lot of feedback, but you can always say, are we on track? Or, and if you find that you're reading for someone and suddenly they're like, oh, we don't have any work, you just always make sure and contact them and be like, I'm just double checking to make sure that is there any way that I can improve, just to make sure that they're not just giving the work to someone else, because you don't tend to get fired as a reader unless some companies will fire you for not reading the whole screenplay. There are companies that will do that. Mm-hmm. Love them so much. But if you're like, or if you're snarky, or all the things we talk about, if you have rude coverages, you might get let go. But in general, they'll just not send you work, because it's the same thing on their end. They don't have to send you anything. It's like, it's like you kind of figure it out. And if you find that you're getting less and less, and it's getting, you can sense it when things are weird. You just talk to them, communicate. Let's see. Oh, that's an interesting question, Chuck. If one is only interested in keeping reading as a part-time gig for spending money, how does turning down read requests fly with potential clients? Can you hurt your reputation in the industry, or are people generally understanding? I think, in my experience, they're generally understanding unless you just never take work from them. If you are constantly turning down, they'll just give it to someone else. And you can always come back and say, a lot of readers are also producers, and sometimes it's like, I'll be on set for the next 2 months. I'm being a scriptie right now. So it's very fluid in that regard. As long as it's always about communication, always. If you just are, saying I'm busy right now, but if you just continuously like sort of peter out, then they'll just find other people, just like anything. What is you guys have anything you want to add to that?
No, that's good.
I don't think I was ever so inundated that I felt like, because I'll get a script sent to me to read, or a script or a book, and then I'll turn it in and they'll give me another one. So that to me doesn't sound so overwhelming that I think that someone wanting to be part-time could probably handle that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's a lot of times how it is like you turn one in and then they give the next one. Sometimes they'll say, here's your batch of 10 for this amount of time. That's another way. So you have like a portal that you log into, and then you can either, you need these 10 done by this such and such date, and you can read them all and then do all the coverages. Don't recommend that, but you can do it that way. And then there's been times when I've done it that way if I'm traveling, because reading the script I can do on the fly or whatever, but writing the coverage is a little bit harder. But the problem with that, and so especially when you're new, I only did this after years of doing coverage, your brain can get confused, especially if you end up having 2 scripts that have a similar thing, and boy, you really don't want to be like, the storyline with the mom is blah, blah, blah. And they're like, there's no mom in the script.
Yes.
You don't want to make sure you never
mess it
get
up.
the scripts confused, which can happen if you do it that way. So I probably shouldn't even tell that story. No one does it.
It's out there.
Don't recommend it. Yeah. Yeah. Are there actors who read for agents who also represent them? Oh, as an actor, are you reading? So it's a different kind of agent. So if you're actors, there's literary agents that represent writers, and then actors have a acting agent. So you wouldn't necessarily be reading for an acting agent. I guess I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Are you on someone's payroll or independent contractors? Do you have to join any unions or guilds? If so, which one? Don't need to join any unions or guilds, and it really depends case by case. You're definitely independent contractor a lot of the time. Even when you are on someone's payroll, the nature of this business, people will offer you projects, and so you'll be independent on those. And
It's all independent contract work for me at this point.
Yeah. I hope that. Oh, good. That made sense. I'm glad my rambling made sense for you, Chuck. Awesome. These have been great questions. Really good. Good. I'm glad it worked, Alex. Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. This has been really, really fun. So do you guys have anything you want to add, or anything that came up that you thought of, or anything that you want to add?
So just
Great.
having us.
Really enjoyable.
Yeah, really fun. Yeah, and you guys are so great. So ladies, such a great info and the positive stories. Just put that up there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donna, for letting me know. Donna just joined our program.
Welcome.
I'm really excited to see you. Yeah, awesome. All right, so thank you so much, ladies. We're going to continue on. You don't need to stay. We're going to continue on for a contest and a bunch of stuff that we're doing. But yeah, so everybody give them lots of love. Like, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Good to see
So
everybody.
happy, you guys. Like, really,
Good
really
luck, everyone.
Yeah. All right. So
Bye.
I figure out how to put it. Oh, not me. But get myself off of there. Okay, here we go. All right, cool. Thank you, ladies. And we will talk very, very, very soon. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. So I think I see. So once you're backstage, I think you can just click off. So I'm still learning the platform. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, ladies. Yeah, really great, right? Aren't they the best? I love them so much. So, and then we also had a mail that was supposed to show up. I don't know what happened with him, if he got lost or what, but we definitely have a wide variety of types of people, and we want as big of a diversity as we can get. So we want as many diverse people as we can, so that we can go out in force and help get diverse voices to the screen as well. It's a big part of what we're doing here. So for sure we want to do that. So yay, awesome. So I also wanted to take a minute to see if you guys have any questions about the trainings that you've been through. I know some of you are going through the replays right now, and then I'll put this up for you. So this is HollywoodGatekeepers.com/screenreader is where you would go to see all the stuff about joining the program, in case you want to join the program. I know there's several people here that are already in there, which is awesome. I can't wait. Some of you are welcome. Yeah. So we'd love you to have a community like this right now, for sure. How young can you start in this field? The only thing holding you back are child labor laws. It really doesn't matter. So if you are young and you're in this field, most people have graduated high school at least, but a lot of people are in college and that college age. As long as if you're really young in this field, you want to make sure that you have a knowledge of history of films. So you want to know that there's more than one A Star Is Born. You want to know the history of what film influenced another, and that you want to be able to recognize that. So that's the only kind of caveat who's someone who's really young. That, and just the experience of how do you behave, and how do you work in a workforce as being maneuvering through that. And then if you're older, because we get this all the time, am I too young, am I too old? And then I always throw in, am I too tall? Because none of it matters. So if you're older, it's about really staying current and knowing what's happening now, and not just referring back to the good old days all the time of when movies were better. So it's like you really want to have all of the nuances, no matter what side. So what happens when the program, I'm not sure which program you're referring to, Daniel. So well, I'll wait until you. So can you clarify a little bit about which program you're talking about? Oh, awesome. Second and third in film and media. Awesome. Yeah. So it's a really great way for them to make connections and stuff, for sure. So, oh, the 6 months. So yeah, so we have a standalone course, which is $495, and you can join that and you can do that on your self-paced. We also have the VIP Insider Track. And so that is all of the standalone course, as well as 6 months inside of the membership. And we were very intentional about that 6 months because we wanted to give you enough time. That's plenty of time to go through everything and start working. But we didn't want to just make it unlimited because we wanted to make sure that you had a deadline so that you could use that to your advantage in terms of making sure that you get it done, get graduated, get your coverages in, all of that. So that's why it's a 6-month program. If you decide that you want to stay longer, it's a membership, and then you start paying monthly and you can continue to stay. And Jessica, who's here, she's still in the membership, like she sticks around. So you can do that as well. So that if you want to stay longer, for sure. So all of the replays, so there is a link inside of the Facebook group. The replays are all in the Facebook group. Everything closes on Tuesday at midnight. So 11:59. So we were going to close tonight, and Cherie's always got your back. She's like, I think they might need more time. So we had a conversation and we decided, you know what, partly in part because we had one workshop that had some weird glitches to it. So we wanted to make sure that you got the information that you needed about what we're doing here. So we are giving you 2 extra days. So we're basically keeping the Facebook group open, and it has the replays in there so that you can watch the trainings that you missed. And then the enrollment is open during that time as well. Everything closes on Tuesday. So you have the rest of today and tomorrow, and then everything closes the next day. So thank you, Sri. So yeah, we talked about it and decided to do that. So we have that amount of time. Get back into that Facebook group and, you know, watch those trainings and ask us questions. We're here for you. We'd love to have any of you that are here to join the program. Love to have you. As you see, it is like a family. So it was really fun to have them come in and tell their stories. I really loved it. So also I want to say winners, we got some winners, and some of them are here today. I've seen their names. So really excited. So what we did was we went through painstakingly and looked at all of the people that answered the contest and took the contest and answered all the questions. And then we also looked at inside of the Facebook group, like who was being really active in the Facebook group, who was standing out, who was really showing up, because we really do believe in the power of showing up. And so then we tallied all of that and basically pick the people that were the most active, that showed up, you know, hardcore, doing the homework, doing all the stuff. And so we have a couple of people that we're going to give things to. So what we decided, I'm going to give a 30-minute one-on-one coaching call to a couple of folks. And it's really interesting because I've been watching you throughout the process here. And so I can really think I can help you. And I don't know exactly where you are in terms of, you might be in the program, you're not in the program. And that didn't really matter. So it was more just about, you know, what can you gain from it? Daniel Furlano, I think I shot. Yeah, you're right. Deliberate, plan, plot, plan for you. So I'm going to do a 30-minute coaching call with you because you've been super, super active in everything. Natasha Allen, who's also done it all, 30-minute call with you as well. And then Tammy Eckley. We're going to do a 30-minute call for you. And then we have one kind of grand prize person who's been so showing up to everything and just really, really impressive. And that's Tanya Lemke. I'm not sure how you say your last name. And for you, we want to invite you to join the Insider Track program. So you're going to get a scholarship to the Insider Track program. I really believe in the power of showing up and giving it all that you can. And so I'm really looking forward to these coaching calls with Daniel, Natasha, and Tammy, because I think I can, we can have a chat. I can answer any questions that you have, and I can say, this is what I think you should do next, and whatever that might be. I have no idea what it'll be until I get to know you like a little bit. So yeah, yay for all of you. Congrats. So yay, Tanya, I can't wait. So and then Cherie will be in touch with you to give you the link to book your session with me or to come into the Insider Track. So yeah, it's been really, really, there were a lot of people that did a lot of stuff, and we really wanted to congratulate all those people that did the homework and all of those, things that you had going on. We really, really appreciate it. So that's the contest. It was really fun. We also keep an eye out in the Facebook group. I'm going to give you a survey. I'd love to hear your feedback and love to know what else we can do to make this even better next time we do it. What were your takeaways? So keep an eye on the Facebook group. I'm going to be posting more things, and really welcome to all the people that have joined us, and welcome, Harold, you've been so fantastic too. So we went through and we just looked at, basically was the numbers game of who was able to show up and do things, and really we basically tallied everything. So definitely stay in touch with us, and let's keep talking inside of the Facebook group. And then the Facebook group, and then, make sure you download your blueprint, that you keep that with you. That is a living document that you can continue to use. So even as do it again in 6 months, do it again in 6 months. It's one of those that I think you can continue to do. So does anybody have any other questions, and anything that I can do to answer any questions along the way? Am I got it all? Is there anything that I've missed? So this has been really fantastic, and I hope that you enjoyed meeting the screen readers, and I hope you enjoyed the boot camp. I can't thank you enough. It's been such an honor to get to know you and to do this training and to see and learn I already have some ideas that some new things we're going to do. Definitely will be keep an eye out, because we're going to be double downing on some AI stuff. We had such a good reaction to that, and I think there's a lot to learn there. So keep an eye out. Very soon we're going to be doing probably an all-day AI event. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I'm super excited, super happy to see you guys. It's been lovely to get to know you, and I'll continue to get to know you in the group. Any questions? Email us as always at team@hollywoodgatekeepers.com. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.